What do others really mean when they're pushing your buttons? You know the situations when an individual has to meet up with people who haven't got their well-being at heart and are generally nasty, domineering and constantly looking for angles to put that person down. Thoughts of, why do I bother, or do I really have to spend time with these people today? And another one might be, I've had enough of listening to this crap. Become very prevalent. The thing is, if a person has issues around low self-esteem, lack of confidence, anxiety, stress and insomnia, hearing people who are constantly putting them down will only make matters a whole lot worse. Why? Because the individual who has conditions that are not to the benefit of their mental well-being will take on board all the comments and feel even worse. What that does is make the person on the receiving end of all those negative comments become withdrawn. If someone is struggling to cope with everyday life, their responses to everything external can become a little bit sensitive. With matters not being so great anyway, why would anyone want to be with people who are throwing around nasty put-downs? Is it a sense of obligation, or not having the inner strength to move on? Or, the answers are many. For people who have issues with low self-esteem, my hypnotherapy work is there to make a person become more attuned to their inner power. With a newfound sense of self, an individual is more able to stand up for themselves, which results in feeling more empowered. No longer will others be able to irritate and upset that person, because an awareness of their true worth will be part of their personality. So why do some people get pleasure from pushing others' buttons? Well, there are a lot of reasons why someone would be nasty to an individual. It could be jealousy, or they have low self-esteem issues themselves. Possibly they may have a narcissistic personality disorder. Maybe they have unresolved issues in their subconscious minds. And lastly, they feel insecure. When others push individuals' buttons, they project their negative feelings onto people to feel good, to give them a boost. But what the perpetrator doesn't take on board is the damage that they're doing to those on the receiving end. It wouldn't matter at all for someone who has a strong sense of self if people throw their unworthiness onto them. Those with inner awareness about their true persona would either A. have a quiet word with that person and politely tell them to refrain from such nonsense. B. they would just walk away and not bother being around those who act in such a fashion. And C. have the realisation that those who act in such a fashion are not happy with their lot in life. Let's have a look at why some people behave in such a detrimental way to others. One example, narcissism, according to the website Psychology Today, defines narcissism as grandiosity, a lack of empathy for other people, and a need for admiration. People with this condition are frequently described as arrogant, self-centred, manipulative and demanding. They may also have grandiose fantasies and may be convinced that they deserve special treatment. These characteristics typically begin in early adulthood and must be consistently evident in multiple contexts, such as at work and in relationships. The website then goes on to outline the symptoms a narcissistic personality has, which are A. a grandiose sense of self-importance, B. preoccupation with fantasies of unlimited success, power, brilliance, beauty or ideal love, C. belief that one is special and can only be understood by or associate with special people or institutions, D. a need for excessive admiration, E. a sense of entitlement to special treatment, F. exploitation of others, G. a lack of empathy, H. envy of others or the belief that one is the object of envy, I. arrogant, haughty behaviour or attitudes. Now, the narcissist has to be the centre of the universe, the one that everyone looks up to and admires. Their supposed sense of superiority is just an illusion, a fantasy, a tool that gives them a sense of well-being. To reinforce that sense of false superiority, they project their so-called worthiness onto others by being nasty, unsympathetic and generally making others' lives a misery. This is especially so when they see someone who may be struggling with their sense of self. A narcissist will sense that person's difficulties and make them feel even worse. They do that to increase their sense of well-being. As with anyone who's jealous, insecure, has low self-esteem, unresolved problems in their subconscious minds, or has a narcissistic personality disorder, they're in a lot of pain within. For some, to be disrespectful of others is a way of giving themselves a bit of a boost. If anyone is on the receiving end of such abusive language, try and look at it from another angle and see that they're just in as much pain as the people being bullied. But the most important thing to anticipate is for any individual who's struggling themselves that they're not being nasty and projecting their inner feelings onto others. For anyone who don't bully others, it marks them out as being special. Now, why would you say that they are marked out as being special? Because they're not resorting to measures that upset others. It means that they have feelings and are not ready to trample over other people to override their issues. Now, my hypnotherapy can help those who have issues with their self-confidence, for example. It is designed to give a person that inner drive to move forward and leave that old persona behind. With a new positive personality on board, a person can be ready to face the challenges that lay ahead. There'll certainly be no room for taking on board a lot of negative comments from people who are in pain. If you feel that you'd like to work with me on a one-to-one basis, go to my website at www.jamesdooleyhypnotherapy.com. Once on my site, book a free 30-minute consultation call with me. If you're in the UK, we can talk on the phone. If you're an international client, we can do a Zoom call together. Now, I do hope you enjoyed this video blog and that you found some value from it. See you in the next video.